The following is a special presentation of Big Polly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. And a pleasant good day to you all. Welcome to our fourth and final game in the first round of the HTFL Season 2 playoffs as we whittle down the field to 12 teams. And the four winners will play the top four wild cards in our next round that will begin Saturday. And today, by the way, is what day it is? What day it is? It's the 12th day of May. And we're going to play out Las Vegas and Baltimore for you. Vegas, the 13 seed. Baltimore is the 12 seed. Baltimore, of course, made the finals last year. It's going to be a 36-degree day, a 0 to 10 mile per hour wind at Ravens Stadium in Baltimore. And off we go. And for those of you brand new to the HTFL, Las Vegas is a combination of the Raiders, but they've only been in Vegas for 2 years, so we take some of the castaways off other teams, players who did not qualify for their own home teams in the Hometown Football League, and we put them on Vegas. Baltimore is a combination of the Colts and the Ravens, playing as the Ravens. They made the finals last year, lost to San Francisco. And a little off the pace this year, both teams coming in 10 and 8. Coin flip will go Vegas's way. They will receive. And that's how our game's going to start. They are in the white squares, Baltimore in the purplish squares. It's going to be Gafford, Garin, and Davis back deep. And we're underway from Baltimore to wrap up the first round of the playoffs. The division champions, as some of you know, have a double bye. They won't even be playing this week coming up. They will be playing a week starting with the quarterfinal round. And in this week that we are about to play, beginning Saturday, we are going to have the top four wildcard teams. 4 division winners, 12 wildcards make the 16-team playoffs. For Vegas, they will start with Garner and Colmer as running backs in the base formation. Coles and Cruz. That's Lavernius Coles of the Jets and Victor Cruz of the Giants. Davis is the tight end. He played for the 49ers. Carr is your quarterback. And your offensive line, Bruiser Kennard is a stalwart of the Vegas offensive and defensive line. He plays left tackle. Rasmussen, Oates, Moore, and Ruby, don't take your guns to town, is your offensive line. 1st and 10 from the 38 as we get started here. And that's Gardner with a 5-yard gain, tackled by Art Donovan of Baltimore. Vegas will have the wind advantage for quarters 1 and 4, so Baltimore will have it in the middle quarters. Defensively for Baltimore, it's Marchetti, Nagata, Donovan, and Lipscomb, your front four, Big Daddy Lipscomb. Ted Hendricks, the Mad Stork, Lewis, and Bulware are your other linebackers. Of course, Ray Lewis, probably one of the best inside linebackers of the last 20 years. Boyd, McAllister, Reed, a 10-plus safety, and Volk are your defensive backs for Baltimore. It's 2nd and 5. In the first 3 games of the first round, the home team has won each of those games. It doesn't matter who wins this game, they will get Kansas City, and that'll be our next game to start off the week of the second round. 3rd and 5 at the 43. Carr, incomplete pass.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 89, 15-yard penalty.
And
automatic.
Marchetti got into a fight with one of the linemen, and he gets flagged. A big 15-yard penalty, moving Vegas to the Baltimore 42 with 13:48 left in the opening quarter. Mickey Colmer A 6-yard grab there. He's out of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Played his college ball at Miramonte Junior College, or Miramont. And can also double as a linebacker. Because back in that era, of course, they had two-way players. 2nd and 4 to 38. And, of course, that has gone the way of the dinosaur, just like how baseball got rid of the pitcher hitting. But that's another topic altogether. Schedule will be released tonight. If you're an NFL fan, we do know a few things about the schedule. You know the Bucks will be playing a Sunday night game against the Chiefs Week 4. And we do know some other things about the schedule. Should have the Rams open it up on NBC without Al Michaels, as they have that Amazon Prime package where he's going to call games with Kirk Herbstreit. 3rd and 4 of the Baltimore 36. I saw the Mets winning earlier. Incomplete. And they're going to try a field goal here of 53 yards with Justin Tucker, and he definitely has the leg to do it. And that's a kick with the win, and it's dead, solid, perfect. Babe Perilli held the kick, and it's 3-0 in favor of Vegas with 12:43 left in the opening quarter. Lewis, different Lewis, Jermaine Lewis, Hildenbrand, and Laird back deep. And that's going to be a touchback. 1st and 10 from the 20. Is it tonight that they're releasing the schedules, or is it a week from tonight? I do not know, and probably by the time most of you see this, it probably won't matter, because you'll know who will be playing who in 2022. For Baltimore, offensively, it's Lewis, McCulley. Let me just go back to the two running back formation here. Lewis and McCulley. Don McCulley are your running backs. Barry and Smith Sr., Steve Smith are your wideouts. Heap is the tight end. Flacco the quarterback. Jonathan Ogden anchoring an offensive line with Yanda, Curry, Barwigen, and Vogel. And they'll go back to the double tight end set that brings in John Mackey and Jamal Lewis on a straight dive. Baltimore is very dependent on their running game. A gain of 6 to start off the game. Houston and Twine on the tackle. So let's go over the Vegas defense, which is Eisenhower, Schwartz, Kennard, we mentioned he's a two-way player, and Antwine, who we were just mentioning making the tackle. That's your front four. Harvey, Bonacane, and Addison are your linebackers. Azamuga, Williamson, McDonald, and Goldson are your defensive backs. And it's 2nd and 4 for Baltimore. And they'll go to Don McCulley here on the dive. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 1 as he gains 3 yards. Addison making the tackle for Vegas. So we hope you are well this May 12th. 3rd and 1 from the 29. And I think we're going to try to beat the coverage. Go to Barry on a play-action medium pass out of the double tight end set. And Barry with a nice catch. Tries to weave his way past Azamuga, but instead he is tackled a gain of 17. 1st and 10 at the 46. So we will see whoever wins this game in short order as we go to a new playoff week, a new plate, if you will. And they will play at Kansas City, whoever wins this game. Sweep to the right, Jamal Lewis. And we have a marker.
Grabbing the face mask.
Oh,
Defense.
a big one.
Number 53, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
They get Addison with the yank of the face mask there. A 15-yard penalty, because it's very dangerous to do. I think I've told the story before on here. I remember a Monday night game where Ken Anderson got his face mask. This was like in, I'll say, 82, 83, I want to say. He got his face mask yanked by a Pittsburgh Steeler, and I thought he had broken his neck. 1st and 10 from the 36. Now remember, Baltimore going into the win, so they want to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible, I would think. Jamal Lewis, 8 in the box for Vegas, and Lewis just runs them all over. A gain of 11. And Nick Bonacane making the tackle. Of course, he played for the Pats, the Boston Patriots, before he went on and played with Miami. 1st and 10 at the 25 will go to McCulley on an off-tackle left run, the fullback. And he'll gain a few.
Tripping. Offense.
Ooh.
Number 86, 10-yard penalty.
Todd Heap saying, have a nice trip to a Las Vegas Ironman. And it's going to cost them 10, first and 20. From the 35, we have now 9:31 left, opening quarter, as the Ironmen have taken a 3-0 lead. Gain of 2 for Lewis, and that's going to set up second and 18. They bring in Roger Carr as an extra wide receiver. Will go his way on the medium slant. Played for Baltimore Colts in the 70s, and that is incomplete. Right off the hands of Carr. You could see him try to catch the ball with the flesh of his hand, but not to be. We'll have to go long here on 3rd and 18. We'll look for Raymond Berry on a long pass. You see that defense of Vegas. Berry spread out, incomplete. And on 4th and 18, a better than 50-50 chance. Matt Stover can hit a field goal from 50 yards. We'll let him try it, he said. And that too is good. So we have started the game with a couple of 50-yard plus field goals. Dial 9 for long distance, and it's 3-3 with 8:20 now left in the opening quarter. Back to Vegas and Gafford taking that at about the 1, chugging it up past the 30, all the way out to the 39, a gain of 38 on the kickoff return. First and 10 for Vegas. At the 39, as we said, both teams, as I said, both teams are 10-8 after the regular season. And they both lost their last game. Baltimore to Pittsburgh and Las Vegas to Denver, who we had early in the first round. Second and 10 from the 39. And that is Charlie Gardner with a 4-yard gain, met by Ted DeStork Hendricks. 3rd and 6, 43. Once held the record for safeties. Safeties scored in the NFL. He had 4. I think that has been at least duplicated since. And on 3rd and 6, an incompletion, as Carr and Davis couldn't get hooked up. So Babe Perilli out to punt. Line of scrimmage being the 43. This is going to land inside the 15. And we'll just do a safe return. And it's actually Lewis caught it at the 12, chugged it out to the 20. Punt went 45, and the return 8 yards for a 37-yard gain. First and 10 from the 20. 7:11 left to go in our opening quarter. A 3-3 tie. Seems we've been playing longer than half a quarter, but so shall it be. And Jamal Lewis, a gain of 7. Harvey on the stop for Vegas. That's Ken Harvey out of Cal. And it's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 27. How about we go to Stephen Smith Sr. on a medium fly route on 2nd and short. And it's there. Perfect timing on that route. A gain of 16. Griffin making the tackle for the Ironmen. And we have a 3-3 tie. We had both teams hitting field goals of 50 yards or greater to start the game, if you're just tuning into this spot. First and 10 at the 43. Also next week, trap left Jamal Lewis. In our next wave of games, we'll have Miami traveling to Washington, Tampa Bay going to see Chicago, and what should be probably the best game of the first round could be Minnesota and Denver. 2nd and 5, Baltimore still on their own side of the field at the 48. And we'll look to John Mackey on the short cross. Incomplete. Mackey just a little tardy getting to the ball. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 5. And we're going to screen it to Lewis. And can Lewis get to the marker? Yes, he can. A gain of 7 and a first down. Saw the Mets winning again, 4-0 today on the old MLB on YouTube. Enjoying watching some of these out-of-market games. Can't get the Rays, though, and YouTube TV does not have Valley Sports. Trapped left Jamal Lewis, first and 10 of the 45. So if I want to pay attention to the Rays, I got to turn on the radio. Gain of 5. McDonald, E-I-E-I-O, making the stop for Las Vegas. Tim McDonald out of USC, played for the old Phoenix Cardinals. And it's going to be 2nd and 5. How about Smith? On the medium cross, Stephen Smith Sr., and that is on the money, a gain of 12. 3:10 left in the opening quarter. Flacco has started 4 for 7, 52 yards. And Smith has a couple catches for 28. But we run inside and go to Lewis on first from the 28. He will gain nothing. In fact, he lost a yard, and Buonacane made the tackle. 2nd and 11, and the ball now at the 29. How about a screen to Lewis again? And that is on the money, and Lewis will gain 8 yards on that, and that sets up 3rd and 3 from the 21. And what to do here? I'm going to look to Roger Carr on the short hitch. And Flacco. The offensive line not doing a good job, and Eisenhower, no, not the former president, came and sacked him almost immediately. A loss of 6, setting up 4th and 9, and Stover's going to come in and try a 44-yarder that would give Baltimore the lead, and that one sags to the left, and no good. 3-3 tie, 16 seconds left. Could be the final play of the opening quarter here. And Carr throwing long and complete.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense. Number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Not only a long gain, but a 15-yard penalty on top of that against McAllister for unnecessary roughness. 1st and 10 at the 29, possibly the final play of the quarter. Flacco throwing, picked off, and it's McAllister redeeming himself almost immediately. First interception of the playoffs, and we have run out of time in the first quarter. We have a 3-3 tie. Vegas, 10 plays, 37 yards, 8 passes. Baltimore, 17 plays, 95 yards, 9 rushes. So on we go into the second quarter. Now remember, Baltimore has the wind advantage now. And they just got the ball on a pick, so we're going to try the Bomba here to Berry. And Flacco lets it go. This looks on target. It is. And Berry scores. Touchdown, Ravens. Quote Raymond Berry, nevermore. 9-3. And your point after good by Matt Stover to make it 10-3. So a quick strike after the turnover as Flacco hits Berry for 57 sweet yards. And Vegas will again be the recipients of a kickoff. Gafford back deep. And that's a touchback with the wind advantage. 1st and 10 at the 20. Carr has started 2 for 8, 28 yards. And Garner, a gain of 5 yards. And that sets up 2nd and 5. And the ball is at the 25. 14-25. A lot of 25s right now.
Holding. Offense. Number 40. 10-yard penalty.
And that 2-yard gain by a number 25. Charlie Gardner is going to get wiped out as Ruby, the right tackle, commits a holding penalty. He was a late season injury substitution. He's out of Texas A&M, played for the Brooklyn Dodgers of football. The Brooklyn Football Dodgers. 2nd and 15 at the 15. Mickey Colmer with a 5-yard gain. First time Vegas has made the playoffs. They just missed making the cut last year in the West, out in the West. Went 10-8. Didn't know if they were going to make it or not. It all depended on the other games, and sure enough, Vegas made it in when Cincinnati beat Chicago. And that is a catch for Lavernius Coles. Gain of 7. They needed 10. So it's going to be 4th and 3, and Babe Perilli out the punt. Longtime backup for Joe Namath. And Lewis, a gain of 6 on the return. The punt went 44, so the net will be 38. First and 10 at the 35. And McCulley on a straight ahead dive. Starts this drive, but Bonacani drilled him for no yards. Second and 10. We'll go Lewis off tackle right side. And Lewis is loose. He's in the ball, in the Vegas territory. Past the 40, past the 30, past the 20. He will score. House call. Touchdown Baltimore. And that very quickly puts Lewis over the 100-yard plateau. And we have only played now about 19 minutes of this game. It's 16-3, and the extra point, good. And Vegas on the ropes early, trailing 17-3 with 11:05 left to go in the second quarter. And Gafford again will get the kickoff. Actually, he gets it, but he'll have to take a knee. And that was booted to West Virginia. First and 10 at the 20. Well, it was. We'll see what Carr can do to shake things up. It's Charlie Gardner, a gain of 5. Number 25 goes to the 25. McAllister on the stop for the Ravens. Second and 5. Cool afternoon, Sunday afternoon in Baltimore. We play 2 of these games on Saturday, 2 of these games on Sunday. Kind of like how the NFL used to do it. And we play them in the afternoon. We don't play them at night. Second and 5 at the 25. And it's Gardner gaining 2 more yards. Ray Lewis making the stop. And the crowd chanting defense, defense on 3rd and 3 from the 27. And Carr, a quick hitter to Victor Cruz, and he'll do a little salsa dance. Gain of 10 yards. Setting up 1st and 10 at the 37. 9:27 left to go. By the way, if anybody found salsa con queso about 10 o'clock in the morning at the Bay Pines Walmart here in St. Petersburg, that was probably me dropping it. 1st and 10 at the 37 because it didn't make the journey home with me. And Baltimore will call time. They will have 2 timeouts remaining for the remainder of the half. At this stage, 1st and 10 at the 37. And Carr handing it off to Mickey Colmer, a gain of 3. So if you saw a can of salsa and it was relatively usable, thank me very much. Second at 7 at 48. It only cost me a little over $2. Second at 7 at 40. You could do worse damage. And that is Charlie Gardner, a gain of 9. Lewis again making the stop for Baltimore, making a lot of tackles. And it's 1st and 10 at the Vegas 49. They're still on the minus side of the field, but not after that play, as Mickey Colmer will gain 10, short of the first down by a few inches. So now Vegas at the plus side of the field, the Baltimore 41. We have 7:09 now left till the half. And that pass intended for Mickey Colmer, incomplete. Carr is now 7 for 14, 69 yards and 1 pick. 3rd and inches, the ball at the 41. And enough for the first down. I'm going to challenge because there's better than average odds that I can get it overturned, and it would be 4th down.
The ruling on the field stands.
Didn't get it.
A timeout will be charged.
So that was the one challenge Baltimore had in their bank to use. They, because the ruling on the field stood, it'll be a timeout assessed to Baltimore. They'll have 1 left for the remainder of the half. 1st and 10 now at the Baltimore 41. The Ironmen need something here. They're trailing by 14.
Offsides, defense. Number 70, 5-yard penalty.
Art Donovan called for defensive offsides. 1st and 5 now at the 36 of the Ravens. Carr looking for Garner. Another drop for him. That's his 2nd of the day, according to our scouts. 2nd and 5. 6:10 to go. Ball to Baltimore 36. And Colmer with the first down. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 31. 5:59 now left in the half. Incomplete. Davis ran a medium slant but couldn't get the pass. Vernon Davis, 2nd and 10 from the 31. I think we have had a lot of Vegas games this week, this season here on the HTFL. Carr that time was looking for, well, it doesn't say. It doesn't say who he was looking for. But it was McAllister was guarding Coles, so we imagine the pass went to his way. 3rd and 10 from the 21. Carr incomplete, looking for Garner. Justin Tucker will try a field goal here. It would be from 48 yards, and he hit 150 plus earlier, but this will be into the wind, and that is good. So Justin Tucker cuts the lead to 11 at 17-6, and we have 5 minutes and 1 second now left in the half. That is the time remaining. Lewis back deep for Baltimore. Any of you remember he used to say that when he was doing a time check? He'd tell you what the time is, and then he would say, that is the time remaining. 1st and 10 at the 25. The answer, of course, is Charlie Jones. Was a long-time voice of the AFL and the AFC when they were on NBC. Trap left, Jamal Lewis. I used to follow his blog until he passed of a heart attack in 2008. A 3-yard gain, Nick Bonacani on the tackle of Jamal Lewis. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 28. And you type in Charlie Jones blog, you could find that blog. I believe it is still up. 2nd and 7 at the 28. He also wrote a book that's on Amazon called That's Outside My Boat. Slant to Stephen Smith on 2nd and 7, but jumping the route was 21, who would be Azamuga, so it's incomplete. 3rd and 7. We'll go to Heap and hope for a Heap big play. Not to be. Penalty, that's got to be.
Pass interference.
You
defense.
got it.
Number 38, automatic, 1st down.
So that's a 7-yard penalty. Good enough for the 1st down, of course, which comes automatic. 3:59. 1st and 10 at the 35. And we're going to give it to Heap on a jet sweep. And Heap gains 11 yards. He did such a good job running the ball, I didn't even see it. Let's run that play again. It was a gain of 11, so it's 1st and 10 at the 46. I still didn't see it. We'll run inside and go to Jamal Lewis. And that is a gain of 4. Jamal Lewis on the day, 11 carries, 110 yards. 3 minutes now left in the half, and Baltimore up by 11. Forgetting that the Ironmen kicked a field goal there for a minute. Trap left Lewis on 2nd and 6. And Lewis very, very close to 1st down yardage. Bruiser Kennard finally making the tackle. We have not heard from him defensively yet. 2-minute warning. And it's going to be an uphill climb here for the Ravens with 1 timeout. And they lead 17-6. It's now 3rd and 2. Double tight end will stay in that formation. Go play action to Barry. And hope for something good, which doesn't come. Incomplete. So on 4th and 2, Baltimore is going to punt. Sam Koch hopes to be it. That sideline punt did not turn over, did not get the angle that I'm sure Koch would have wanted, so it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Emmanuel Sanders is going to come in. He's number 10. He's up on the left side playing split end, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 20 as Vegas tries to get a little closer before halftime. Deflected by Boyd,
Pass
but a marker, and
defense.
you hear the penalty.
Number 40, automatic, 1st down.
Boyd got a deflection on it, but he also got a little piece of the receiver. So it's 1st and 10 at the 36, and Baltimore on their heels now a little bit. Screen to Garner. Garner will try to get out of bounds. No yards gained. Now, Vegas had 3 timeouts, so it would have made much more sense if he had turned up the field, but not to be. 2nd and 10 at the 36. We have 82 seconds left in our half. That's Victor Cruz gaining 11, and I'm sure Vegas will call time here, right? Yes. 2 timeouts left. Baltimore with 1 timeout left. It's 1st and 10 from the 47. And that's Cruz again. Cruz working on Tom Keene, who comes in as a 5th defensive back. He gets out of bounds. 2nd and 3 at the Baltimore 46. So we may have a game yet. Not Flacco, but Carr checking down to Mickey Colmer, and that's incomplete. Carr now 10 for 22 for 87 yards. 3rd and 3. Ball at the 46. And Carr to Garner. Garner gaining 13 yards. Took an interesting angle to the sidelines, as you saw there. And it's 1st and 10 at the 33 with 44 seconds now left in our opening half. This game between the 13-seeded Ironmen and the 12-seeded Ravens. It's 17-6 at the moment in favor of Baltimore, but Vegas looking to make it a little tighter. Fumble on that play. Donovan stripping the ball out. Moore had it for Las Vegas. He is the right guard. And Vegas has to call timeout, I would think, here. 1 left and 35 seconds to go. Carr's got to go deep here, I would think. He goes to Cruz. Cruz gaining 19 to set up 3rd and 2. And Vegas will use their final timeout. In fact, they're kicking a field goal here. It's going to be Tucker from 42 yards out. Good. It's 17-9. And we have 19 seconds left to go in our half. Lewis back deep with Hillenbrand and Laird. He'll take the touchback. And with 19 seconds and 1 timeout left, Flacco will just take a knee. And that'll do it for our opening half. Your score at halftime will be Baltimore 17 and Las Vegas 9, and I will be right back. You're watching the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel here on the good old YouTube. And here we go, 17-9. Baltimore leading Vegas in this last of the first round matchups. Our 4th and final first round game. The winner will get Kansas City Saturday here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel, Lord willing, and if the creek does not rise. I'll clarify a point that I was making in the first half. The scheduled release is tonight, the 12th of May, and Baltimore, that's in real time 2022. Lewis back deep for Baltimore will start the second half. And we're going to return this even though it's a yard deep. Baltimore, 27 plays, 238 yards, 16 rushes. Vegas, 32 plays, 137, 24 passes. That return, 21 yards to the 20 as Jermaine Lewis took it a yard deep. And we'll go back to Lewis. He has been red hot. He's is at 114 yards. And now he's got 8 more to get to 122. I think we'll be seeing a lot of not Jermaine Lewis, but Jamal Lewis. We got a lot of Lewises on the Baltimore team, I'm noticing. Play action, medium pass to Berry on 2nd and 2, and that's complete. That's a gain of 17 yards, and that's going to set up a first down at the 45. Trap left Jamal Lewis. Vegas playing a little off the ball. Gain of 4. They were keying on Lewis, but Lewis still picking up 4 yards. They're not putting 8 in the box despite the fact that they're committed to Lewis running the ball. Off tackle left McCulley. But Vegas playing short type, and I think this is the cue to try a medium flyer out with Raymond Berry. Try to beat the coverage. And Berry is there. A gain of 16. He has 4 catches for 107 yards. 1st and 10. Went on and was a head coach in the NFL, of course, with the Patriots, most notably. Trap left Lewis on 1st and 10 from the 35. He will gain another 5 yards. He's at 131 yards on the day. Baltimore as a team 144. McCulley had a 3-yard gain. Has gained 3 yards on 2 carries. Todd Heap had a gain of 11 on a reverse, the tight end. And we'll go back to Lewis, 2nd and 5 at the 30. And that's a gain of 4. Schwartz making the tackle for Las Vegas, who isn't always been on the money in this first round game. 3rd and 1 at the 26. I'm showing my age when I mention that Vegas commercial. Always on the money. Long pass to Berry on 3rd and a yard. And that's going to be on time and a touchdown for Baltimore. That was picture perfect. And Baltimore having a hard time being stopped offensively, 23-9. That was a 7-play, 80-yard drive, taking 4:36. Stover with the point after, 24-9, and we have 10-12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And again, Gafford getting the kickoff, and that finds the paint for a touchback. Carr is 12 of 24, 119 yards. With 10-12 left in the 3rd. Of course, this could be the night the Lightning are eliminated from the playoffs, which has not happened in the previous 2 seasons because they won the Stanley Cup. So that could be a notable development as the night goes on. 2nd and 10 from the 20. Carr, another incompletion to go to 12 for 26 in this game. 3rd and 10, ball to 20 still. And Carr's going to run here. Will they get him? Yes, they'll get him before he got to the first down marker. Ted Hendricks making a good tackle on David Carr. And Vegas will punt it away. And that will roll dead at the 34. The punt by Babe Perilli goes 40 yards. 1st and 10, Baltimore. They are already up 15 at 24-9. Looking like they will get Kansas City in our next game. Now 8 in the box for Baltimore, and they wrap up Lewis. They wrap up Lewis Bonacani with his 10th tackle today. They actually had a double on Raymond Berry. We're going to go screen to McCulley on 2nd and 10. But they can't beat the coverage, and that play will go incomplete. How about Stephen Smith Sr. on a medium cross on 3rd? And that was 3 and out. Nice job by the Ironmen defense. 4th and 10 at the 34. So Koch will come on and punt it away. Artie Taylor, the return 15 yards, the punt 49. So it was a 34-yard net. 8:03 now left in the 3rd quarter, and the Ironmen still trailing by 15. That was a pass to Victor Cruz, and a 1st down. 1st and 10 now at the 42. Can Carr get something going here? Incomplete looking again for Mr. Victor Cruz. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 42. And we have a fumble on that play. Carr got it back. Vegas will keep possession after that. And that sets up now a 3rd and 21. And Vegas going for the blackjack here, I would think, but that's deflected at the line by Nagata. Incomplete. So 4th down, and Vegas punts it away again. Lewis taking it at about the 32. They'll say the 33. A 2-yard return on a 36-yard punt by Babe Perilli. We'll go to Lewis. Baltimore with the ball now at their own 35. Under 6 minutes now left in the 3rd quarter. And Lewis, those plays on the inside, just killing the defensive line of the Vegas Ironmen. A gain of 8 there. Setting up 2nd and 2. We'll go base formation. We're actually, well, let's see, with time running down a little bit, we're going to go play action long pass to Stephen Smith Sr. But he doesn't get it there. Incomplete. Guarding Smith on that play was Fred the Hammer Williamson. He has had a league leading 6 interceptions in the regular season for Vegas. It's going to be 3rd and 2. We'll go right back to Lewis. 86% odds that he'll get the first, and he does, a gain of 5. He's up to 148 yards on the day, with 4:56 now left in the third. And Vegas now, with the wind in their faces. Baltimore has the wind advantage, so you might see them try a long one before the quarter ends. Back to Lewis. Vegas spreads out on D.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 21, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And Vegas now killing themselves with unnecessary penalties. And Jamal Lewis just went over 150. He's at 152 on the day. McCulley on a dive, 1st and 10. It's one of those, we think they may be keying on Lewis kind of play, so give it to the other guy. And McCulley gaining 3. Pitch to the left for Jamal Lewis on 2nd and 7 from the Vegas 30. And he will gain yardage on that play. He gains 6. Fred the Hammer Williamson making the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and a yard from the 24. They're going to go 3 tight ends, which brings in Mutcheller as the additional 3rd tight end. And we'll look to Lewis, trap right. And got the first. Vegas is going to challenge.
The ruling on the field stands. A timeout will be charged.
Vegas challenging the ruling of a first down, and the ruling on the field will stand, so Vegas can issue no more challenges. 1st and 10 at the 23. We will go to Lewis. I think there's Lydell Mitchell waiting to get in as a running back. And Bonacani all over the place, a gain of a yard. Ray Rice coming in. Actually, he is the backup running back, a player the NFL would like to forget ever existed. Off tackle left to Rice, 2nd and 9. I think there was something I was reading on Facebook about a jersey of his being removed and edited. And like I said, they wish Ray Rice never existed for some off-field incidents. 3rd and 5 at the 18. We'll go 3 wide. And we're going to look to Lydell Mitchell. I knew Mitchell was going to get into this somehow. And he gets the first down, a gain of 5. Right now, Baltimore is on an 11-play drive, 52 yards. It's taken less than 5 minutes. And we'll go back to Rice on a dive. And he gains 1 yard, 24 seconds left, and they'll just run the clock out. They won't get another pass off as they would have liked. And that'll do it for our 3rd quarter. It's Baltimore 24, Las Vegas 9. Vegas 38 plays, 29 passes, 142 yards. They have the only turnover of the game. Baltimore 48 plays for 356, and 30 of those plays have been rushes for 181 yards. And Jamal Lewis getting the lion's share of that yardage. Off tackle right, Rice on 2nd and 9 from the 12. And Rice will accelerate into the hole, gains a yard. 3rd and 8. And we're going to look to Roger Carr on a medium crossing route. That is incomplete, but a marker.
Pass interference. Defense.
Oh, boy.
Number 24. Automatic first down.
Fred the Hammer Williamson. Giving Baltimore a new life. It's 1st and goal at the 5. And Jamal Lewis back in. Let's try to get him to finish off the drive. Trap to the left. He scores. 2nd touchdown of the day. Touchdown Ravens. He scored earlier on a 65-yard run. That was only 5 yards. And he's now up to 165 yards rushing on the day. Point after for Stover to make it 31-9. It's good. Snap was fumbled. He got the kickoff. And it just barely tweaked over the crossbar. 31-9 with 14:10 left to go. Gafford back deep. And he takes it at about the 3, chugs it up all the way to the 45, a 42-yard return. It's Antonio Holmes coming in, so they have two number 10s. Emmanuel Sanders on top and Holmes on the bottom. 1st and 10 at the 45. 13:59 left in the fourth as the Vegas Ironmen getting pummeled here in Baltimore. That pass incomplete, looking for Gardner. 2nd and 10. And another pass incomplete. Couldn't get the timing on that pass to Lavernius Coles. 3rd and 10 at the 45. Ironman trailing by 22. They need something positive here, and they don't get it. It's just a 3-yard gain before Ed Reed makes the tackle, and Vegas has to punt again. And that was Perilli punting at 36 yards to the 16. And that's where Baltimore will start with 12:54 left in the fourth quarter, looking like they could book their flight to Kansas City. Trap left Lewis on first, 8 in the box for Vegas. And a gain of 5, and that puts Lewis at 170 yards on the game, closing in on a 200-yard game, which I'm trying to think if we've ever had a 200-yard rushing game in the playoffs, either in seasons 1 or 2. And we'll just keep feeding the ball to Lewis. Trap left on 2nd and 5. Close to the first down, he gets it. And remember, Vegas cannot appeal because they've already used their challenge. Lewis is now at 175. As a team, Baltimore has now rushed for 197. McCauley on a dive, 1st and 10 from the 26, and we have a marker.
Encroachment, defense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty.
And Vegas just continuing to get frustrated and commit penalties here, which is not what you need when you're 22 down. Lewis, sweep to the right side. This is 1st and 5, and he gets 1 yard and 1 yard only. 2nd and 4. How about a pitch to Lewis? Try the outside. And Lewis gaining nothing, and he'll have to like it. 3rd and 4. We'll go 3 wide. And I'm going to once again try Roger Carr on a short hitch. Oh, incomplete. That was over Carr's head. And Baltimore has to punt it away with 9:54 left in the fourth. Koch at the 20. Line of scrimmage was the 32. And Taylor a 5-yard return on a 48-yard net. 1st and 10 at the 25 with 9:48 now left in the fourth. Nice run there by Garner for 6. Marchetti on the tackle for Baltimore. So this will be our last game of the first round. An off day tomorrow, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we will do the second quadrant of games, 4 games in the second round. And that is Holmes, a first down. If the score holds, then we'll see Baltimore and Kansas City in our next game. And then Sunday we'll do Miami at Washington, 1st and 10 at the 35. Monday we'll do Tampa Bay going to Chicago. Baltimore calling timeout. 8:30 now left, fourth quarter. Carr going to be sacked by Big Daddy Lipscomb. Carr is going to remain in the game. He was grabbing his shoe, looking like he tweaked one of his toes. 2nd and 21 at the 24. That's not going to get any better in the cold weather in Baltimore. Coles, a 9-yard gain on that pass. Carr is now 16 for 34, 145 yards. Our last game of the first round, by the way, will be Denver going to Minnesota. Gain of 6. Not enough for the first down, so Vegas punts with 6:18 left. And we'll try a legit return here. Taken by Jermaine Lewis. Lewis with a bit of a gain, 13 yards. And the punt went 45, so Babe Perilli's net there, 32. 6:11 now left, fourth quarter. It's still 31-9 which wasn't that the score of Super Bowl 55 between Tampa Bay and Kansas City? I believe it was. Funny, they had two Super Bowls in Tampa where the loser got 9 points. Super Bowl 18, Raiders over the Redskins 38-9, and then there was that 31-9 Super Bowl that Tampa Bay won. They were the first team on their home turf to win a Super Bowl. Duplicated by the Rams last year, of course. A gain of 7. And Jamal Lewis now at 183. One of the last dramas we have left in this game is whether or not Lewis will get to 200. Trap left again for Jamal. And he will only get 1 yard that time. That was his 30th carry. And on 3rd and 2, we're going to give the ball to him. Trap right. He's carried the mail so far. Might as well just let him finish the job. And I think we have a fumble on the play. Bruiser Kennard picking it up for Vegas. And they went to Lewis one time too many there. And Vegas with a first down at the 35. They trail by 22. Batted at the line, incomplete. That was by Nagata, getting a ham hock on that. 2nd and 10 from the 35. That is complete to Lavernius Coles, first down. Ball moves now to the 25 of Baltimore, 4:29 left. And Carr's just going to keep gunslinging it. And that was intended for Emmanuel Sanders, incomplete, looking like Ed Reed got a ham hock on that. Sorry for the little beep there. Stukes, possible interception, but they're going to say he had a foot out of bounds. A foot out of bounds negates the interception. It's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 25. Looking at the sideline for one of the number 10s, which I believe is Santonio Holmes. Yes, it was. So now 4th and 10. Field goal will be very inconsequential here. And Carr not finding a receiver. Emmanuel Sanders the closest to it. And Vegas gives up the ball again. And we have 3:24 left. We'll go to Lewis. And Lewis will pick up 2. 32nd carry. He's at 186 yards on the day. And we're going to take Lewis out. And we're going to go to Lydell Mitchell for the remainder of the game. We'll run him off tackle left on 2nd. And he will gain just 1 yard. 3rd and 7. And they'll run it to the 2-minute warning. And they'll go to Don McCauley on a dive. Just playing it safe, no gain. And Vegas will let the clock run down to 1:14. Taking a timeout, they have 1 left. Koch to punt. Remember, they're punting into the wind. Taylor. And, well, something happened on the punt return. We'll see in a moment. Baltimore got the ball back. Taylor fumbled. Barwidgen with the recovery. Barwidgen is the right guard, so he hustled down the field, scooped that ball up, and with 1:06 left, we'll see if Vegas feels froggy and they don't want to use any of their timeouts. Mitchell gaining 3. Flacco will just take a knee, and this one should be over. Yes, it is. Baltimore, the last team to advance to the 2nd round with a 31-9 win over Las Vegas. The MVP of the game has to... Hey, I wasn't done with that yet. Come back here. Hang on, folks. I'm going to get this. Hang on. We could just go into team stats. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Jamal Lewis had to be the MVP of the game with his touchdown runs of 65 and 5 yards. 386 yards for Baltimore, as Ella has joined me here, waiting for me to be done so she could play with me. I bought some laser pointers, and she has been entertained by that. 211 yards rushing for Baltimore on 44 carries. I think that's the one stat that sticks out. Flacco, 10 for 19. They really didn't need him all that much. 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, gave up 1 sack. Jamal Lewis, a stellar performance. 32 carries, 186 yards. We had Gardner with 6 catches for 36, but the yardage leader was Raymond Berry, 5 for 133. And I did it again, being a schmuck here. And let's see here. Leading tackler was Bonacani for Vegas as they exit the scene. A 12 tackle performance for Nick Bonacani, who would go on and play for the Dolphins in real life. So there you go, folks. We are done with the first round. I'm going to tape Paulie Talks Wrestling tomorrow, and that will be up on the podcasting realm on Saturday evening. And on Saturday, we're going to come back and we're going to do Baltimore at Kansas City. Sunday will be Miami at Washington. Monday will be Tampa Bay at Chicago. Tuesday will be Denver and Minnesota. Hope you enjoyed the games. And on behalf of Ella the Cat, who's trying to get my attention as I speak, this has been Big Polly, wishing you all Godspeed and God bless. We're going to be back on Saturday for some more HTFL action, and bye-bye for now, everybody.